we can have no company that controls any one of our residencies. That's all they teach. We've got to teach comprehensive surgical reconstruction and the different devices that are appropriate and can be successfully done.
The Big Ten
You
approach.
need to be unmuted too, James Miller.
Is James with us?
You
Yes,
invited
no,
him.
I'm here. I'm here, and Dwayne Starr's here as well.
Hey, Dwayne.
Hi, guys.
These are in Oregon. Tom, where are you at right now? Tom Chess.
South Pasadena.
All right, I'm down in Beverly Hills.
I know, you're about 12 miles away from me.
All right, I'm coming up for a scotch.
I've got 4 kinds.
I'll probably get the rock gut.
No, I'll give you the single malt.
I've got a bar right behind me. You want me to open?
86 years old.
All
Let me
right.
cut the light on so you can see the bar.
Well, Duke, one of the things that I'm concerned about personally is, we just all saw the $1.1 billion deal that went down between not affordable, but Aspen and Clear Choice Smile.
Yeah.
I am actively marketing on the internet. I know how to market. I'm actively marketing my practice on the internet and on television as at the Center for Family and Implant Dentistry. You clearly have a choice. And they do. And the patients in our area are picking up on that. But there's going to be a lot of failures out there with Clear Choice. And I think our residency programs are going to be the centers where a lot of these things are going to have to come in and get cleaned up. Lord, look at Joe Lau there with that head full of dark hair. So anyway, hey.
Well, I just want y'all to see the bars open behind me. You're all welcome.
Hill's living in a 1,500.
The only thing I have to apologize for, we're out of Robert Edge. Now, Joe, he was a bootlegger in North Mississippi, and he went to prison in 1955, and his stuff is pretty rare, and we're out of it. But otherwise, we're well stocked, even down to the apple juice I drink.
I wanted it to be clearly understood that 100% of what anybody gives, if we can't kick this program off for some reason or another, it's refundable to the donors that donate it. Currently, we have 20,000 in cash. We have 20,000 in cash in the bank. The other thing that Andy Burton and I straightened out about 2 weeks ago with JU. JU's budget for what we're doing is $750,000, and I had it in our original budget as $688,000, and we got it down from $1 million from what Jim Gibney had about a year ago. So the final budget with JU is going to be $750,000. They want to get things kicked off so they can get their course designers and trainers and developers in overdrive between now and June if we kick this off to start it next June. Now, the balance of the funds that we have set up for our budget, I have a budget of 1.1.
And it'll be July 1.
I'm sorry, yes.
July 1 will be the startup date.
Right. But we have to have the funding or the commitment to JU. The next step with JU, once we get to 750, is to have a letter of commitment between CORF, AAID, and JU. And I think that a memorandum of understanding. Now, I have currently the book that I have showed y'all before. It's the kind of the 360-page Bible I've put together for this. It's at the Business Designers and Developers in Charlotte, near where Jim Rakowski lives. It's an Auburn grad. She's doing editing and designing of it to finish it so that it's presentable to folks like LaRon and JU and, of course, all of y'all as well. And I still think we need to pursue finishing our budget out to the 1.1 so that we have the reserve funds in the bank should we need it. I think there's going to need to be some unforeseen expenses if we need to pursue whatever. Now, the other thing we had talked about was we've got to pursue JU to make the commitment.
Andy,
Yes, sir.
Andy, is Duke Keller still on? I don't see
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, all right. I won't, because it's critical that Duke be a part of this as president of the AAID.
Duke, I just want, we've been doing this as a verbal commitment with AAID support for the program. And I just want LaRon, to hear that from you, that we have AAID support for that.
You have AAID support. I know of nobody on the board that is not in favor of doing it. We, of course, through Rakowski and Iyer, will be pursuing master's residencies. They're putting together the curriculum, but I know of nobody that's against it. So I personally am very much for it.
Okay. Is Dr. Jack on board with us there this morning or afternoon for y'all? No? Jack Lemons.
What was that question?
He's with.
Who was that?
I was wondering if Jack Lemon was on board with that. Now,
Yeah.
Can you bring us up to date with the curriculum we had discussed earlier so LaRon can hear that? Can you hear me?
You asking me for that?
Yeah, just tell LaRon that the curriculum is where we're at with it, and that you and Joe and Keith Long had talked about that.
Oh, well, we do have the whole curriculum basically at least brainstormed out. Dr. Tatum did a ton of work on this as well. And if I pull it up here just to go over a few of the things that you'll see in this, would be, the first year is very important just to get people in and get them set up with learning moderate sedation, conscious sedation techniques, aseptic protocol, learning the digital laboratory technology and designing, obviously the basics of diagnosis and treatment planning with diagnostic radiology and CBCT interpretation, patient advocacy for really course teaching advocacy for the patient in their best interest. I think Dr. Tatum has really caveated this, and I think everybody here is too, doing what is best for the patient, not necessarily whatever you can do, but what is best for the patient. The second half of year one, you really delve into the head and neck anatomy, biomedical sciences, principles of implants, biologic materials, PRF, and things like that. There's a residence roundtable that has been developed into the curriculum. So it's course presentations or case presentations and discussions amongst the peers. You get into the concepts and techniques of implant placement, obviously starting simply with extraction site management, introduction into the different research methods, because we do have to have research as a component of this residency that we are developing. There are going to be some business and marketing courses for the students. Then we get into just things like removable pros, fixed pros, digital prosthetic fabrication, printing, and things like that. Again, you go into then really get into the soft tissue management. This is, I think, where I'm curious, Dr. Heller, about what Shanker Iyer and Jim Ratowski have come up with. I was hoping Jim was going to be on here. Shanker said he would try to log in. He's up in Vancouver with Bill Yang's Maxi course right now teaching. He said he'd try to log in during the lunch break, and I was hoping that Jim would be on, but I don't see him on here. But then we start to get into really a lot of the reconstructive surgical components like soft tissue management, nerve repositioning, all the different onlay bone grafting, the sinus augmentations, all the different types of augmentation that you can do, autogenous as well, laser therapy, implants in aesthetic zones, developing soft tissue, guided bone regeneration. This is where you get into also, we're going to get into remote anchorage implants. That's a huge course there. And that's your zygomas and your pterygoids and things like that. Alveolar vascularized osteotomy, like the
That's where they take the maxilla. Yeah.
I just forgot what we call it. Dr. Tatum, what do you call that?
TVO.
TVO.
TVO, thank
TVO.
you. How could I forget? I'm sorry. We will include graftless solutions for implants, as well as all the different graftings that we go over. Computer assisted, which is like your XNAV. And then obviously we got to get into, if we're going to do comprehensive, then some of the issues that have to be addressed must be management of complications, risk management and ethics, mastering the anterior aesthetics, implant maintenance, and then peri-implantitis prevention and treatment. So it goes on and on. So, and then the way JU has this set up is it's kind of like a rolling curriculum. So if I were to encounter a sinus augmentation early on in the residency program, then I would be able to shift that learning curriculum forward versus having to wait till like the second or third year to learn that. So that's the kind of a neat option that they have there.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question, if I may. Is there, as we all know, experience has no substitute. Are there any numeric goals, like every resident, when he finishes program, he placed around 1,000 implants and he did more than minimum 150 full arches, something like that, that we know, that we certified him. When he go out to the jungle, we know he had enough experience to be implantologist, because I saw a few residency program that basically the time is the time frame, but down the road, the number of placing implants and dealing with patients and with anesthesia and stuff like that is very little.
Now, I'd like to address that to Keith. Keith, can you address that for Laurent? You're on the education committee of AAID.
Correct.
Can you tell them what the requirements for the maxi courses are?
Well, the maxi courses, basically didactic. The only surgical component that you get are, number one, on models, and number two, if you opt to pay for like a 3-day surgery course down in Mexico. That's pretty much it. So it's very introductory as far as the education of the maxi courses go. They're great programs, and we need to support them, to the letter, I believe, because that's where we get our strength of our membership. We create guys that want to learn the right way from the beginning, et cetera, et cetera. As far as this residency program goes, though, I think that the main goal, besides just the numbers of implants, which I think that if a resident comes to one of our practices, they're going to place a lot of implants, is to prepare them for successfully defending their cases when they're presented to the American Board of Oral Implantology. I think that the curriculum needs to support the credentialing process that's already in place.
Now that does have a requirement. Of course, you have to present.
Another way to answer that is the requirements of the ABOI and the AAID's various levels of membership.
Exactly.
I think the board, you have to have 500 or 800 hours and 150 cases, something like that. And so that'll all shake out.
Got it. All right, let's see.
Well, Tom, Duke, and
Hey, Sam.
I all have been
I'm in a meeting.
members
What?
of the American Board. I was on the board when it was organized. 3 of us here, at least 3 of us, have been on the board, American Board of Oral Implantology.
Right.
And I was there from the beginning in the organizational period. And we set it up following the protocols and the pathway that AMOS, the American Association of Oral Maxillofacial Surgeons, had followed in establishing the residency program for oral surgeons some 60 years ago, and or in the 40s and 50s and 60s. And the whole purpose of our educational program is to create people who are capable of being recognized as diplomats of the ABOI. What we currently have is a transitional program, just like they had in oral surgery, so that it was possible for people who did not have residency training to qualify and take the board. But that was planned to end when we had enough residency programs so that we annually created enough graduates to meet the annual needs of the profession. And so we've had to stay in this transitional period for some 30 years now because of the political opposition, the turf that has been fought against us in organized dentistry to prevent graduate education in oral implantology. But now, if we develop this program, our goal is to have, in the second year, have 20 or more programs in operation. And once we do this, then we will build the groundwork that will build a graduate education that will benefit millions of people in the coming 50 years with a better quality of implant treatment, with fewer complications, and with an overall improvement in the quality of treatment and done and the treatment offered across the world, not just here in America. So this has been our goal, and this is what we've worked for. I've been a part of this movement for now. Duke and I and Tom have been a part of this for 50 years.
Right.
We have all worked diligently, and we are some senior guys, and I'm probably the oldest of the group here, but I started very young anyway. But to answer their question, that is what we're after, is developing education. We're not selling anybody's product. We are training surgeons, and we're training comprehensive restorative implant dentists.
That's what you would.
We got to have both if it's comprehensive.
Yeah.
It's not just grafting. It's not just placement of implants. It's not just doing the restorative treatment. It is the complete treatment for any patient that needs comprehensive care.
Beautiful.
Well put.
Tom, what do you add to that? You.
I agree totally. That's it. We are a big tent, as the Democrats would like to say.
Yeah, I agree with you, Hill. Now is the time for two reasons. One, we have at least two, probably three universities that are willing to put together BAs or BSs in implant dentistry to give a degree in implant dentistry. Then you've got the JU program that is another prong that is going to produce a lot of the physical hands-on.
I think it should be an all together kind of thing. I mean, I would love to see our program work together with these other programs to get through the glass ceiling together. I mean, I have no objection with that. And I think the more centers we have, the more knowledge and training that we can offer.
I agree.
So
We'll have
was,
standardization training across our programs.
Yes.
our 20 to 30 programs that we should have
That's why.
established. But the program at Rochester, the different programs at Roseman will all be under the same umbrella, but it's graduate education, and I think we will be setting the standard for the whole country and whole world if we're successful with what we're doing here.
Yeah. Andy, since you have access to Jim Rakowski, you need to get with he and Shankar to see the curriculum they have put together as well.
Do you have any updates on that curriculum from them? I was hoping
Yeah,
they'd be on here.
I think it's almost done.
Yeah, I think so.
Because if you're going to get favoritism with CODA, the biggest thing is to go through the universities.
Right.
What you're doing, JU, is going to just supplement everything else. And I think that program will eventually be accepted by CODA. But right now, only the universities will be. But we still pursue JU for the benefit.
Jacksonville University is a university.
I
They have,
understand.
for 19 years, they have an orthodontic residency program that's quite large. It perhaps might be the largest in the country. So they are inside of the CODA umbrella already at JU with their orthodontic residency.
There's the details.
All right.
And
I want to add also Dr. Katza.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
don't think you can say we're outside
All
of
right.
the mainstream.
The other thing LeBron is asking us here, guys, is that if we can have another Zoom meeting to finalize everything. He has a doctor that's associated with his company that.
Hi, guys. First of all, I want to say it's a pleasure and great honor to see you guys in person. This is today meeting in person. I heard so much about Duke and Dr. Tatum and Dr. Andy. And listen, guys, I'm really excited and I'm very happy and honored. And I will take my company and I will put everything I can in order to establish this program. And I think we need to change the frame that we use if we're going to create this program. It's going to happen. If we are going to be hand in hand, shaking those hands, there's nothing that it's not going to be. I had this experience last year with Penn University because they changed the chief residence there. I'm sure you know, guys, everything was stopped.
Yeah.
And couldn't move out, it couldn't work out. But there is a big need in United States, by the way, not like in Italy. In Italy, we are working with Milan University. It's the first dental implantology program. In US, it still didn't happen. And it has to happen. That's why we're doing here course. And I'm the only company during the COVID that's doing every 2-3 weeks hands-on courses.
Right.
So I'm very excited to do this thing. And I think we can deliver it. And you guys for sure can deliver everything you need to do. And I will finalize the details with this great gentleman. And then if we can do another call, all of us, in order to close the details and make sure we can move forward.
All right.
All right. I would like to just add one thing here. You do understand our programs are going to be full-time programs, 3-year full-time programs, where there will be surgical activity every day. Our didactic component will be online from Jacksonville University, but there will be clinical surgical training facilities that will all be an off-site components. They will all be off-site components of Jacksonville University, legal components of the university. And so this is full-time. It's not occasional.
No. One thing you should be aware of too, I can't remember.
LeRon.
LeRon.
is there will be videos available as part of this training for each and everything that clinically is going to be done. So you get to see it before you do it, and it's going to be phenomenal. Nobody else has this.
That's great. It's part of my vision. I don't know if you know Norris Academy. You can go to our website and see everything is video. Everything,
Yeah.
all the procedures from zygoma,
Right.
for the challenged cases, all the way to the simple, basic stuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Absolutely.
See that there's a 5,500 membership with AAID, and they will have access to all the stuff that we're teaching all the students as well. So it'll give you access to all.
Just need to deliver the 20-something practices that use Norris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. Guys, I think that winds it up. I got to go out and convert a denture on top of 4 implants here.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much,
you all
guys.
so much.
Good
Thanks,
job.
Andy.
Stay safe and take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Great demo.
Huh?
We have a
Yo.
great summarize on one for this thing.
What?
So $300,000. Okay. Making sure in some way that you feel comfortable and make this group feel comfortable for some.
Which Andy Burton, Joe Boone, Joe Boone, Keith Long, myself. That's 5 of us. We are the members of SPORT. We all are your clients, and we will all be teaching you.
So guys, can you hear me?
And then your information will be videoed. I told you we already have 2 cases.
I hear you, Keith. What you got?
So like we talked about this morning, I think that one of the things that Schenker and Jim need to be approached with is the possibility of kind of using their mastership program to give our program more weight. So if we could offer, because it's all online, they only meet it's going to be like 3 or 4 times a year. If we could piggyback with them and offer our residents also a Master of Arts degree in implantology while they're going through our course, because it's designed for us weekend warriors, I believe. That's something worth talking with them about, I believe. Adam Kimowitz brought that up, and I just thought it was a wonderful idea that if we, when we get this off the ground, if we could offer that, it'd be fantastic.
Amen.
You guys agree with that?
Well, let me share with you. I had a 25-year experience. I've lived in Europe for 25 years, and I had a training program that I started in London. It was like a maxi course. I never affiliated it because I basically did everything myself, and it's just too much paperwork involved. But it was a week, a month for a year of surgical training. But in England, over this whole time, there developed a number of university programs that were giving masters, and they were all BS.
Yeah.
There was no hands-on clinical training
Right.
that was significant in any of them.
Yeah.
And those of you that have been involved with us in Puerto Rico know that to do things properly and to learn to be a surgeon, it takes time and it takes repetitive treatment, and you need to do it every day. And that's what we will have in our residencies, with the added component of the didactic education. And JU is open to developing and offering a master's in conjunction with the program. We haven't gone into that in depth, and I should have Jim Gibney because he's had the conversations I haven't. But what we are primarily focused on now is creating this group of residencies that are university affiliated and approved and taught from within the university, and with the master's capability within JU, just like when we started the hospital-based program at Loma Linda what's 27, 28 years ago, 29 years ago, when Bob James was alive, there was a master's component of that promised. When Bob died and the dean retired, the new administration changed that. But that was a component of our planning in the, Duke's son, Rob, was a resident in that. Bernie was a resident in that program. And originally there was a master's option that was given to them. Duke, you want to add something to that? Duke?
He's gone.
I think Duke left.
Yeah, Dr. Tatum, I was unaware that we were thinking of offering a master's program through JU.
Yeah, that is an option that's available. So we have that potential. In oral surgery, you don't, you get your certificate in oral maxillofacial surgery. Then you have to take the board to become boarded.
Right.
But we're going to have a certificate program, just like oral surgery has had. But we would want to add the master's component. Our programs may grow to the point that an MD could be a component of it, or DO. But we've got to start, and we crawl starting with a certificate program that's university. And big enough to get CODA's attention. I wish Frank Greco was on here with us tonight.
Yeah.
I want to introduce everybody to Isaac. Isaac's been working with us at the course here all weekend. Isaac was a oral surgery assistant trained, and he has a past history with I'd like to introduce you.
Hi, gentlemen. It's nice to meet you guys.
He outlined a vision for training auxiliary staff. It really grabbed me last night at dinner. I just wanted him to share it with you for a second.
Yeah, so the idea that I had was to train the assistants in the oral surgeon aspect of dentistry, starting from the phlebotomy, because I have my phlebotomy as well. So it's, tracking every single thing that we have to do as assistants to be able to help the doctor and make it much easier for him when he's having to place these zygomatic implants, pterygoids, and such. So it's nice to meet you all.
He's been invaluable for training and support today. He had a history with Clear Choice out in Las Vegas, and then he's since shifted over to Norris full time now. So you'll be seeing him in the future too, quite a bit. So I just wanted y'all to meet him and thank him for all his help with us this weekend. He's been great. All right.
It's nice meeting you guys.
All right. Do you at this point? I'm gonna jump off here. I've got to get out there. Are you gonna be around a little bit later? What time is it over your way?
Yeah, I tried to call you back today when I had to cut out.
California does not like my cell phone.
Well, I tried to call you back several times, but one of my children called, and I was tied up for 15, 20 minutes with them. But
what time is it over your way?
All right. What I wanted us to I wanted to suggest this to us. And I wish there were more of us, which Duke was still with us. And have we lost anybody else? We lost Joey?
No, Joey's still here.
Joey, you still on?
I'm still on.
I like the coat and tie, Joe.
Thank you.
All right. I think the people that I've been talking to, the limited number of folks that I'm talking to ask them to participate financially with us, I'm telling them that we've got this ceiling of December the 15th, that we've got to have $100,000 committed so that JU can prepare and go forward by the first of the year with their application with the governing body that they work under in the Southeast or nationally, I think it's Southeast, to start a new educational program in the following year. They have to submit it and have approval for it by the first of the year. So I think we've got to realistically look at December 15th as the date that we've got to be able to tell Dr. Sapienza, Chris, we've got the bacon. Let's get ready to have a feast.
Right. The other thing I think
if we're going to do it, then we got to get busy. I've been talking to several individuals, and I've had some pledges, and I've made a pledge myself. I want all of you to know that once the programs are there, I'm going to give the entire inventory of instruments that I have to equip every one of the programs with the things that some of you have and have bought. And I don't think I've given them to any of you, but you bought some of them. But this is going to be a major contribution that I will make, but I'm also going to make a financial contribution. Now, I'm not really able to afford it, but I'm going to take it out of my life insurance. But we got to get committed. I can't do it. Andy can't do it.
it's one of the things I want to do.
We got to get committed and raise this money. And we can't go out generally to the membership of AAID. It's a poison well right now.
Oh,
Duke has told me that his number one dedication this year is going to be for graduate education in comprehensive oral implantology. And he's going to start an educational effort within our membership, I guess immediately, to begin to educate the membership about graduate education and the benefits that every one of our credential members will have. I haven't talked to all of you. I don't think Long Brothers, Long Gang, both of you. Is Henry with us, Hank?
Henry's not here.
Okay, well, I don't think I've talked to the two of you in detail about this, but we have a plan called the GPS training program. You familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with the term? Okay. And the concept I have is that will serve a significant part of our training within our residency programs for those procedures that some of our directors don't have experience in. Because if we, in our first group we start, maybe 2/3 of our directors don't have experience in all of the procedures. But the GPS is like the GPS. You tell it.
I think Laurent liked that idea that the GPS would be distributed among the AAID membership.
Yeah, but I'm talking within our group.
Yeah.
But Duke is going to educate the membership.
It's balls to the walls time as far as raising the final numbers. Hilton and I've got it down to about 450 for committed that we've pulled together ourselves. Laurent's doing 3. I would like to still get us up to the 1.1 so that we have the reserve in place should we need it for the future. Now, the next step here is that I'm talking with the International Vice President of Henry Schein, and he wanted, we had a Zoom meeting with Hilt, Andy, and Duke and I, and he wanted a copy of what we're doing. That he wanted a copy of this. My concern, and I didn't send it, my concern with that was that he's on an educational board with a bunch of dental schools. And I did not want what we have that's proprietary to get in the hands of people that aren't advocates of what we're doing. So at Hilton recommendation, I'd like to fly up to New York and sit down with him with the book, and then at the end of the meeting, pick it up and take it home, unless they sign a confidentiality agreement. And I mean, our plan is proprietary, our curriculum is proprietary, and our budget's proprietary. And I just didn't want to willy-nilly send that, and he knows it. I mean, he knows what he's doing up there. So I still would like to fly up and sit down with him. He's also on a foundation of an international bunch of international implant groups that are donating towards education, but their main contribution to us would be equipment, not so much financial. And right now we need the financial, not the equipment. So that might be something that we could store in our pocket for a later date when we need more equipment. Okay. Is there anything else, anybody? What time is it out in France right now?
It's probably 7 minutes to 9.
All right, Karen,
You're 9 hours away from him, Andy. 9 hours.
Okay. Laura, I can't, time chess, I can't figure out what time it is. I mean, my watch says East Coast time, and I have no idea what time it is out here.
Well,
I mean, we're 2,500 miles away from the nearest barbecue joint, and I'm like out of water.
Hey, Keith,
Well,
I want you to get with me about approaching MPS. I talked to Jeff about this when I was driving through Arizona somewhere, and I know you and Jeff have got a pretty good relationship as well. So maybe you and I can tag
what is
team.
MPS?
It's a medical purchasing solutions. It's a small time business, but it offers anesthesia supplies.
Yeah, they're very competitive as far as like Asurgical, Southern Anesthesia, those places. And they've been good to us over the years.
Okay. Guys, we had a huge win today. I'm proud of each and every one of y'all. I really am. It's been a year in coming, but I think we're almost over the finish line. I'll give you a call a little bit.
All right, let me ask you, Andy, this man that met with us tonight, what's his name?
LaRon Gibney. He lives in New York and Israel, and he's with Norris Dental Implants.
Which are manufactured in Israel, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is his role? I mean, he spoke as if he was the director or the owner of the company.
He is the owner of the company.
Okay, that's what I thought I picked up. So he spoke authoritatively. I hope that he means what he says and that he's sincere in it.
Oh, yes.
But
no, we're going to follow up with him again. All right, guys, anything else? I think we can.
Yeah, I want us to have, Andy, while we're together right now, it's time for us to start talking about what we're going to do besides what you're doing and what I've done. We've got to just know who's willing to work and who isn't.
Yeah.
To help put this together. You can't do it alone, unless he gave you the money.
Yeah, the next step for this, I'd like to talk to everybody on an individual basis and see where they're at, see who they know. We still have to get us up to 1.1. As far as I'm thinking, we're at 7.
So
well, I think this ceiling we're looking at right now is the 750 to get them to go to make their application. Then we've got the time for Duke to get some education out among our colleagues, and we can widen our solicitation. The well is too poison right now for us to go out with just what's happened politically in the academy. There's still too much poison in the well.
I know. We've been negotiating
we got to take this first step of getting Jacksonville to make the application. Then we can go forward with a broader solicitation for the rest of the funds that we need. But this is the ceiling we got to crack right now, is this other $300,000 by December 15th to have JU go forward. If we don't, we're dead for next year. It's
All right.
just more conversation.
No, if we go to JU with what we have right now, they're not going to turn us down. We've got to get the money in the bank at this point. I haven't been pushing money in the bank. We have $20,000 in cash in the bank. I'm going to put in another $80,000 personally, and then we'll go from there. And y'all get in touch with Tom. What's the easiest way for me to get in touch with you? Can I do a phone call or email or
Both?
okay?
Either or.
All right, I'll give you a holler before I head. I'm supposed to fly back to Atlanta tonight. I leave at like 10 o'clock.
Okay. Good luck.
Right, and
All
he'll
right.
he'll let you know. He'll just
I
let
would
you
like
know.
to hear some expression. I would like to hear some expression from the rest of you, if you're in agreement with this and if you're willing to put your shoulder to it in whatever way you can. I know you're on this telephone call, this Zoom call here, but it's
one of the questions I have, who knows who all the Tatum guys that would have our back on this? I don't know all of them. I know the Condorosi brothers are interested. Tim Hacker. I've tried to talk with Sonia Smithson at the Alabama Implant Study Club group, but I'm not getting a response from them. I don't understand what's going on there.
Huh.
Well, I'll tell you a few people that Uchi Perez is giving us $25,000. Maya Meadows giving us $50,000, giving your foundation $50,000.
Yeah.
I have some others that are giving $10,000 commitments, and I have a $10,000 commitment myself, besides the things I'm going to do later. And I have about 7 people that I have talked to and have said they will. I've just got to come back to them and pin it down. So that's what I'm doing and what I have done. But that's not going to do it. And what Andy's going to do, unless we get this mother load here that he brought tonight, and that would be wonderful.
Amen.
That would put us, plus it would give us some more towards the big thing we need. Tom Chess talked to
Nisnik.
Jerry Nisnik. Tom had been Jerry's mentor when he started in implantology. And Jerry told him he had 17-month period that he was under a non-compete clause where he could not do anything overtly. If I say it wrong, Tom, you correct me.
No, you're right.
Where he could not do anything within dentistry.
Right.
But that after that, he would be a participant.
Not only that, he's going to be coming back with another company. He says he's got a whole new twist. He still owns his facility out in Calabasas, which is phenomenal. And if we can get him involved later on, believe me, Jerry's a smart kid.
You know, my idea is that we've got to get this thing started, and we've got to see that it functions for 2 years. At that time, the consensus in the AAID should be, the membership should be educated, and there should be strong support for our educational training.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll have any problem with AAID participation in supporting this.
Not now.
After we have 2 years. We
Amen.
can't go out and do anything right now. The well is too poisoned. Tom, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. Well, we cleaned up most of the poison in the well. Things are really turning around there. We're going to be okay.
That's
But
good.
we cannot go and ask money from the
I know.
academy.
Not right now. It's a little too early.
It's premature.
I think once we have
We've got to have an education.
then we can go to them.
Okay.
We go
Guys,
back.
I've got to
the-
get back. I've got to get back out there. I don't want to.
Okay.
So I've got to get back up the course. We'll finish up. We'll finish up here in about 4 or 5 hours. But thank
All
you so much. I'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks,
Andy.
Andy. Good job, guys.
Well, with you guys that are left here, I think, one thing that we can do is the 12 disciples could go and look, and we could go reach our group. We were a pretty tight-knit group, and see what we can come up with amongst all of us as far as a financial commitment. And then I think MPS is interested in making a financial commitment as well. I think we will have reached our 750, especially if this goes through with Norris easily, and we're well on our way to the 1.1. Now, another thing, Hilt, though, that is very important to me, which Keith and Joey and I are working on right now, is really the organizational component of this. Andy is really, and you have really put your tires to the road and are going somewhere with the financial commitments and getting this thing off the ground financially, but there's a huge component organizationally that has to be dealt with. Conceptually, it's absolutely beautiful, but how this actually will work, how this will be implemented, how this can be onboarded, how this can be sustained is really crucial. And so we are, I gave them the updated curriculum for review, and we're going to have a few meetings to bang our own heads around that to see how we can get this established and what facilities will need, what type of staff they will need, how those staff will be onboarded, how we can make this happen not only just for the first 2 years, but for the rest of ever, to make this totally sustainable forever.
Yeah, we have.
There was 4 months of full-time work done on this in the fall of 2018 up through the end of January 2019. There was 4 months of full-time work on what you're talking about, Andy, and then it all stopped. But there has been a tremendous amount of work and effort that went into exactly what you're talking about 2 years ago. And some of you know the details of that, but
Yep, I know.
there is a tremendous repertoire of information that is a starting point.
Absolutely. So, when would you guys like to meet again? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Well, if we accept that we've got a target date of December the 15th, I don't think it ought to be 2 weeks from now. I think
Well, next week
and say,
Thanksgiving.
okay.
Next week is Thanksgiving.
Well, next Sunday's not Thanksgiving. That was bad. The damn turkey's dead and eaten.
Depends on when I shoot that turkey out in my yard.
That ain't a turkey. That's a hog there in Tennessee.
Our
Or
governor,
one of your neighbor's chicken.
our governor has limited us to 10 people for Thanksgiving, but you can have 30 for a funeral service. So my pet turkey's going to die on Wednesday, and the service will be on Thursday. Y'all come.
Is that an invitation?
You got it, buddy.
Can you pick me up?
Yeah. I'll have Jerry fly over in his jet and pick you up.
All right. Okay. Okay, but guys, there's an urgency to this thing.
I hear you.
2-week meetings don't cut it unless somebody's got a rabbit in the hat, and I don't know about that. Now, if this fellow we met with tonight, if he owns that company and he comes back and says, "Okay, fellas, I'll do it," we've got that. But I tell you, that's just talk right now.
Yeah.
And
yeah, until we get the money in the bank, it's all just talk.
It's all talk, yeah. Well,
Sure.
the people that have said, the people I know that have said they would, they will.
Yeah.
And, but we got to get to work. And Andy is putting a Hercules, a major effort out in the efforts he's putting into it. But it's going to take all of us if we're going to make this thing work.
Once I get a haircut and a shave.
That'll help. You won't scare anybody off anyway.
You look like a country western singer, Andy.
Which one?
Well, he was just on this morning. The guy who wrote "God Bless America" or something. He was on Fox Friends. What's his name? Skinny little fellow like you.
No, that was the guy that OD'd.
Oh,
No,
great.
he's still alive. Oh, yeah, I hear you. All right.
Oh, no.
All right, that's good. We have some humor. That's good. See, that breaks the ice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you know, is everybody in on working on this thing? If you're not, say it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, we're there.
I mean, hey, we did lose. I will tell you that we did lose Bev Dunn. He was not interested in participating, and so
Well,
I
Bev
removed
told
him.
Bev, I don't know. When I talked to Bev and asked him to be he told me, he said, I'm on a limited income. I don't have any money. I said, okay, Bev, I understand that. We just wanted you to be an advisor.
Yeah.
You have been a president of AAID, and we want if somebody, I had one past president told me, hell no, I won't give any money. They wouldn't listen to me, and I'm not going to give a cent. But he's the only one that I've talked to who did not say he would be a supporter or so would contribute. Now, I'm going back and talking about to this group specifically. What can and will you do? And
Well, I will
Okay,
personally make a
fine.
financial commitment. We've also got little Joey had to step out. I think he's doing something with his church, and he has he sent me a text message to let you know that he had to leave, but that he is going to be financially committed as well. We've got that.
If somebody, we don't know what anybody particular person's situation is. Everybody's been through this COVID thing, and there's some of our very sincere friends and people that are just not able to do something. But I understand that, and I accept that from anybody. But I ask you, you understand the importance of this. Can and will you support it financially? And if so, now I'm asking, what can you do? What will you do? Yeah, I'm looking at you too, Tom. I already talked to
All right,
you.
put me down for 25.
That, I wish I could have done that, but I couldn't.
I understand. I just sold the building in Oregon, so.
Okay, well, you told me you were going to. Well, see, that's wonderful.
Huge tax bill this year. Huge. I may have to sell my wife.
Well, how much?
Huh?
How much?
Tax bill? Oh, you want? Oh, you take my
How
wife,
much?
please.
What are you asking? What are you asking for Carol?
Oh,
I want to know what she's worth.
$1.98.
You can do better than that.
Well, she used back in the day when she was hooking, she'd get $10, but you know.
Yeah, I got this reported, Carol. I told you I would.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, fellas, this is better. We got a little humor here.
All right.
Well, everybody think about it, and let's meet next week
All right.
and get a report. What's been done in the week? I'll give you a report what I've done.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Maybe
send out an
nothing.
invitation.
It may be nothing, but I expect it to be more.
I'll send out the invitation, then we'll collect back.
All
Well,
right.
if you don't want to do it, say you don't want to, so we know. But
No, we got to do it.
okay, I agree with you. Okay, fine. We agree on that.
We agree.
Agreed.
All right. Okay, fellas. Okay, thank you.
All
Good to
right.
see you,
everybody.
Dr. Tatum.
Have a good evening.
Okay.
Is
See you
somebody, has somebody been recording this?
I have.
Attaboy.
Good.
Yeah.
You
Excellent.
got that about Carol, didn't you?
$1.98, I believe, was the quote.
$1.98. That's good. I expect we can get his commitment increased with that. I think we got a little leverage here now. Okay.
Hey, James,
Okay,
I want to talk to you for a minute about what's going on in Oregon with me, if you've got it. About
Yeah,
5 minutes.
I've got a minute, but Andy,
Okay.
I'd like a copy of this recording if you can do that. I'd like to show it to an old friend.
Sure. Yes, I can do that. It takes me a little while. I'm a little slow, and I'm working on internet here in Tennessee Hills, but I will get it to you.
Very good. The sooner the better, but that'd be great.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye, Dr. Tatum.
Bye, Tatum. Goodbye.
Let me hit the stop recording because we don't need to record any longer than that. I think we got all the stuff together on that.